Hi, my name's Lindy and welcome to my channel. Sorry it's been a bit of a gap between this video and the last video. The last video, called The Eighth Wave, will give you some indications as to why that has been. Suffice to say, my extremely difficult living environment, the nature of the work that I've been doing, a lot of what I haven't been able to share on this platform for various reasons, and kind of balancing some of the health related issues that have been going on as well. So what I'm going to say before I leap into this video is I do hope you're doing okay. I know many of you are going through some really extreme circumstances that have been deliberately negatively rolled out across the world globally at the moment. And we are moving right through the eye of that storm now. And we're between half and 2/3 of the way through. So expect shocking things to be rolling out across the world, which they are. You just have to look anywhere to see the evidence of that, and the extreme segregation really of one part of society against another. And what I'm going to say here, because I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole now, I've said so much and dropped so many hints, and I'm doing so much behind the scenes on this. What I'm going to say is you are going to be called upon to draw a line in the sand as to what you think is inhumane and against humanity and what isn't. And your time is now to be doing that. So it's going to be up to each and every one of you and each and every one of us to decide where that line in the sand should be drawn as to, really it's all about humanity, what is inhumane and what is for humanity. So I'm not going to go any further down there. I know from talking to so many of you internationally that your different countries are going through different things, but they are all following the same plan, shall we say. And I know how it's difficult in many of your everyday lives trying to work around it. What I can say is this period of history is going to come to an end. It won't come to an end until people end it, until people see it for themselves and draw that line in the sand. This is your time to do that. What I am going to say again is we're between half and 2/3 of the way through this period of history before we come out of the other side of it into a very changed world, in the good sense. I'm talking about the ascension reality, which is unstoppable. To get to the ascension reality, we have to do our line in the sand bit now to bring this part of it out into the light and bring the darkness down and stand in our own sovereignty. Interesting time to be alive. Not too much longer to go of these very challenging events that are happening to people, and then things will get a lot better and be very different in a good way, I mean, not in a negative way. That having been said, because I could not come up here and do spiritual, genuine, authentic videos without referencing this. I've said this before, and I said it in the last video. I don't know how anybody talking spiritually about anything can just pretend this period of history isn't happening. That's not in my nature to do that. I'm a bit of a warrior. I am a huge advocate for human rights. I am a huge advocate for justice. I was born like it. This is not a new thing. So it's a huge part of who I am. And that part of me was far more to the fore before I, let's say, went into my spiritual energy. And I've had to balance both of them in this extraordinary period of energy, so one doesn't consume the other, so to speak. And I think I'm doing that quite well now. So I'm not going to go any more down that rabbit hole. What I am going to say is look after yourselves. You must be true to yourselves and those you love at this point in time, because if you haven't drawn your line in the sand now, you will be washed away with the tide. You must have an awareness of what feels and seems right and what is inhumane against parts of your society and countries that you live in and what isn't. So I'm not going to go any more down that line. I have been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Just because I'm not up here on camera doesn't mean to say I'm not doing stuff. I have had to balance that against the most extraordinary, extremely challenging circumstances I've been in here. I have addressed this before. There are many of us in this industry, particularly if we have stuck our head above the trench and helped a lot of people and worked with a lot of people over a very long period of time. This is 22 years for me now, that have been, let's say, singled out for some punishment, shall I say. There's an actual fact here, again, which there's a lot of spiritual bypassing on, is that if the brighter the light, the bigger the lighthouse, the bigger representation of pure humanity consciousness that someone is representing or that somebody is, the more at some stage they can come under this sort of barrage, especially if it's that kind of pure simplicity and pure authenticity, really. So there are many of us that have or are going through that kind of thing, and it's been incredibly difficult. I've referenced this before. Feeling everything that's happening in the collective and helping with that and processing it has been hugely damaging to my own physical health. And there's been a few times where I felt I'm going to have to literally walk away from the role that I've been fulfilling to try and help with that. Now, I don't know if it would help with that or not. But, you know, I'm just stating as it is. It has been very difficult having to feel, especially at this very dark period of history, which is as dark as World War II. As I keep saying, we are in a war on humanity and have been in it since January 2020. Although we know the outcome, we're still in it and not at the end yet. Processing it, feeling it, being a template to help people through one part of consciousness across a bridge to another has been wonderful and is wonderful, but it has really taken the toll on me. Now, there has again been a couple of times where I've reconsidered really what to do about that. And what I can say, and I'm not going to go into details again, is it's been quite an extraordinary week this week, in that there have been a few people that step forward. These aren't people that are these are people that are our clients or former clients that have been drawn to step forward and have, out of left field, without me making this particularly public on my YouTube channel, have stepped forward in ways to try and help change my living situation, whether that be providing somewhere else for me to go, whether that's in the UK or out of it, or temporarily for a reprieve, or whether that's been offering financially or doing things like this. Now, I'm absolutely humbled and really moved by that, because I haven't, this time round, I haven't really gone out there for an appeal or anything for help with some of the things that have been going on, because it has become imperative that I'm moved out of the living situation I'm in. So these people just got a strong feeling to step forward, and I mean, it's bringing a smile to my face. It's such a lovely thing when people are just moved to do something and actually, you know, step forward. So thank you to those people. You know who you are if you're watching this video. I'm not going to embarrass you by naming you or anything like that. but you know who you are. These three amazing women, actually, one from the UK, one from Iceland, and one from Australia. I'm most grateful for that, and thank you very much. Very moved, actually. I couldn't have really come those offers and help at a better time, because it can be quite exhausting, you know, maintaining this position, you know, sort of like holding back a tsunami all the time, really. So thank you. Now I've done the kind of world bits, let's say, and the personal bits. If we get onto the actual video here, what an extraordinary time to be alive in the work that I'm doing. So I am still working. I have cut down the amount of sessions I do because I'm very mindful of I haven't recovered my health since being hit so hard in 2020 by the global stuff. But I am, when I'm working, my clients will, you know, be testament to this. The sessions are going extraordinarily well. Some of those sessions are game changers, and I find them amazing when I'm doing them. So do my clients, particularly the multi-dimensional healing ones, which have taken on a realm of their own, shall I say. And some of that stuff I can talk about, and some of it I still can't talk about. I can a bit later on, but not yet. The nature of the work we're doing, which comes some of it on a global scale as well as an individual scale, you know, the person I'm working with. What I can say is it's in the course of those sessions and that I've discovered the whole so much multi-dimensional, let's say, information than I had or knew before, not just on behalf of my client, but what's happening collectively. As we become more awake, aware, and conscious, as more of us comes into our heart portal, which is the true reality, the authenticity of who we are able to access more rungs of our multidimensional ladder in the heart, and we are able to come closer to spirit, come closer to, if you want to say God, you can say God, to closer to Christ, closer to who we are, closer to our higher self, much more in connection with our higher self. And as we access these different layers of who we are, it's all us. It is like that we only had access to one or two books before, and then we can access the whole library of who we are. And the whole library of who we are isn't just a historical thing. It is who we are in this living moment in time, and all living moments in time which are happening at the same time, past, present, and future. Again, over and over again, I'm referencing us as Time Lords, and we literally are. So as we can access more of this, we have been able to find out, when I say we, I guess I'm talking about other people like me, but I'm also talking about we as in the team I work with. So I work with a large team of my guides, but the guides that help me. So I have a solid guide team, and now and again I have somebody else come in and collaborate with my guide team from the other side, or galactically, if you want to say galactically, because I'm working a lot galactically at the moment, because humans have reached the galactic point of consciousness within themselves. That's why, which is another rung of consciousness. And what we've found, so me and my team have found, is that as our consciousness has risen, we are able to get closer to the realms that are wanting to help us, or are our guides or guardian angels, if you want to say that. Before it was like the Grand Canyon gap, you know, we were here because our vibration wasn't particularly high, and even mediums could go a little bit higher but not maintain it. And now the gap in the Grand Canyon is closing, so we can reach them and they can reach us easier. I mean, it's very important for me to say it's important to be discerning, If you are in the early stages of being able to reach realms of yourself and outside of yourself, let's say, that you weren't before, don't assume everything and everyone that you've got communication with in that way is always a good guy, because they're, you know, take it from one who's worked as a medium for years. There are many energies that can hoodwink people and make out there's something they're not, and it's sensible to go by your heart, be discerning, and really listen to your gut feeling on things, you know. But as that Grand Canyon gap has closed and we're able to access more of who we are, we're able to access these realms, we're able to access more multidimensionally, which means, let's go back to the analogy of the library. Instead of you having one book, This Is Your Life, which used to be a TV program, This Is Your Life, didn't it? You can access the whole library, and the whole library is all happening at the same time. There's not parts of the library that aren't online yet. The whole library is the whole library. It's the wholeness, the oneness at the same time. So what we found is it's not just us that can access that whole library. Others can access that whole library. So our team, if you like, the good guys, can access the whole library, but also interfering energies that don't have our highest outcome at heart can also access the library. So it's like unwanted visitors that don't have a library ticket are able to access our library. And we didn't even know they could do this. I didn't even know they could do this to the last so many months. And we now know that they can walk into your library on some occasions. Now, the library is a representation of every parallel, multi-dimensional, existing at the same time reality that you have. So you are you, and you are in a movie screen in hundreds of cinemas at the same time. Movie has a different name. You have a different name. You have a different body shape and size. You are a different sex, but still all you. We now know that people can walk into those theatres on occasion, or into your library on occasion. That's all happening at the same time, and interfere. And the interference happening there in your multidimensionality, so the multidimensionality meddling, affects sometimes what is happening in your awareness now. So I call them bleed throughs, but it affects what's happening now, what they've done there. Now, we didn't even know this was possible, but we do now. So by accessing, and I'm talking about what I do in those sessions sometimes, the multidimensional healing, sometimes I have to access someone's multidimensional reality for various reasons. A part of them as a fractal has got stuck there, part of their consciousness is a ghost there and didn't go to where it was, a part of them isn't integrated there, there's unfinished business there causing a bleed through now. Or we found there's been fiddling about, meddling by an interfering energy, a disruptive energy there, and that is causing a problem now. So it's not just if people get hijacked now in their current awareness, they're getting hijacked multidimensionally, and it's been going on for millennia. We just didn't know it was happening, and now we do. So there are things we can do about that to stop that. Now, I would like to say more than what I'm saying now, but I am really strongly being guided here to keep it stum and not actually say much more than what I want to say there. Well, I'd like to say it, but I'm not. It's like if I was a bomb disposal expert and I had to go and disconnect a bomb, and the bomber's listening, I'm not going to tell the bomber how I'm going to disconnect the bomb, because he will find a way so that I can't disconnect the bomb. So I can't spell out and spill out to you here now exactly what I am doing, and others like me and my team all over the world, to disengage that. What I can tell you is disengagement is happening, and we are doing this kind of work, and I wish I could spell out, because I'd love to talk about it, but I can't. And there's other things that I'd love to talk about, and I can't yet. I will be able to in probably a year's time. If people are interested by then, and I'm still around then, you know, if we're all here, I'll be able to share it then, but I can't share it now because it's live and active. It's like being in the police force. If I was a police officer and I was in the middle of an investigation, I can't tell you all of it. I can't, and I wish I could. But I can tell you this work is being done, and I can tell you this interference is happening. If you've got stuff going on and you just can't make sense of it and think, well, I've looked at everything here. I'm doing all my clearing work. I'm doing all my journey. I'm clearing my stuff. I'm clearing my emotional stuff. I'm understanding who I am. I'm questioning things. I'm seeing where I'm being triggered. I've had this done, this done, this done, this done. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know where this is coming from. It's worth considering it's coming in multidimensionally. And you and I, in the old days of talking about this, we would have said from a past life. I don't look at past lives like past lives anymore, and haven't done for some years now. Not witnessing what I'm witnessing, working the way I'm working. I now know it's all happening at the same time, all in the cinema at the same time in multiple screens. So I don't look at it that way now, and I would call myself these days a multidimensional medium, because I'm working multidimensionally and have been for some time, probably about 3 or 4 years now. So what I would say is we now know stuff we didn't know a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. Every week we know more than we knew the week before, because we're getting more access. As we come closer to ourselves in our hearts, and come closer to the fullness of our consciousness, and come closer therefore to our spirit, and come closer to our ancestry, galactic, off-planet and on-planet, which are also all stages of consciousness as well. We are able to access more fully, not just of who we are, but who they are and what is going on. So it's worth considering that if you have got stuff and you've tried everything and it's not working, it may be not coming from your current awareness of your reality, but in let's say parallel reality, or what you might call past, present and future. Again, it's all happening now. That there has been unfinished business, or part of you stuck there. There's lots of reasons why this happens, not just interference. This video is about the interference, or there's been interference which has created a situation where you're not necessarily replan what's doing there, but what's been happening there. Oh, there's so much I want to say. Oh, it's driving me crazy. I nearly said it then. I really feel I'm not allowed to say it yet. I can't say it yet. I can't, look, for the reasons I've explained. But we know what's happening there now is affecting what's happening here now, and there's a couple of reasons for that which I really want to say and I can't. But we know how to deactivate it. We know things to do now to stop that. So it's worth looking into that. It's worth looking into. Don't punish yourselves and think, well, why can't I clear this? Why is it still going on? It may well be little bit of interference or hijacking has taken place in your library. Someone's been fiddling around with some books in your library. Somebody's been hijacking you multidimensionally. And I don't feel this is a new thing. I think this has been happening for ages. I do think it's increased. Why? Because we have these bastards on the run. Because they came out of the shadows on force and en masse beginning of January 2020. Because they are no longer hiding, because they are now what we call going for broke, which means they are going all out to take as many down as possible across the world. That's through, I'm going to speak in code, that's through Jabberwocky. That's through not getting treatment required because access is denied. That's from isolation. That's from pitting one group against another in every way you can imagine: skin colour, age, race, sex, Jabberwocky or non-Jabberwocky, the list goes on. So there is a desperate frenzy by them to hit on all levels, and people tend to think it's just the physical level that people are being hit on, which is one big chunk of it. That's the line in the sand bit. It's not. It's just as much a spiritual war as it ever is a physical war, and it's a war on the human soul. It's a war on the soul, and it has been from the off. So to damage as many souls as they can, which is like a car, like a vehicle, to make people give up and to stop people's path is an ultimate goal for them, because the energies that are really behind everything, not at the levels of what you think is running your country, behind them, which I've been saying now, oh God, for 7 years on this YouTube channel, the energies behind them, let's call them the disruptor energies, the energies I've blown the whistle on many times on this channel. That's how they get fed. They eat soul suffering energy. They eat it. It's like giving a dog a chop to eat. They eat it. So if they can keep people in these loops of providing endless food for them through suffering and fear and hijacking, then they will do it every single chance they get. And that's what's happening. And again, if you just look back on the history of my YouTube channel, I have been exposing this and blowing the whistle on this the whole way through that channel, the whole time I've been on there, saying how these energies work, talking about programming. I've never seen such a mass programming in evidence in my life as I have since 2020 on the population of the world. If you just look back at my videos, at the very beginning of this in 2020, I was kind of dropping major hints and telling you then how it works and what would come in behind it. And again, there's a saying, you know, you can present people with information, you can present people with a frequency, but if they can't see it, or they don't want to hear it, or that's triggering, you just can't make people see it. Most people that are watching my channel have, well, a lot of you have been with me for a long time now, or right from the beginning. But some of the new ones of you, perhaps you don't know that the way I work is very much hand on heart. You may not always like my honesty and authenticity, but it is genuine. And people either are afraid of that genuine light, or they love that genuine light. There's no middle ground. There hasn't been for years. You know, they love you, they hate you. You will find the same. The more of your own light you hold and the more conscious you are, the more you will find that two-way split. People are either threatened by that light, because the brighter the light, the deeper the shadow it brings out in people, or they are drawn to that light. You know, and it appears like a catalyst in a way for them. So again, extraordinary time to be alive. I am kind of hesitating here because I am a little bit drawn almost to do this video in two parts, and to do just a little bit on I'm not going to call it a meditation. Anybody that's known me for years and been with me for years will know that many times I've run groups, which years ago used to be called the midday meditation, or midday med it used to be called, many years ago when I did this. And they weren't meditations at all. They were activations, really. And I learned early on that this isn't normal meditation. This is like an activation of consciousness. And people would often come to them and it would be more than relaxing. It would be, they would be changed. And of course that was years ago now, and I kind of learned so much since then, as we all do, and learning and constantly being surprised every week. Just what capacity we have as humans and how we've only accessed about 10% of that, and there's 90% under the surface. What I'm drawn to do is I really would like to help, if it's possible, do kind of a sort of activation around clarity within people so that they really can see from the eyes of the heart rather than see from programming, the mass programming, the big psyops that's been done, really done a number on people since 2020. And I'm really tempted to do that, actually. I'm really strongly tempted to do that. So I think I will do that. So if you want to jump out of this, bail out of the next bit, that's fine. We're about at 31 minutes. And I'll say goodbye to you now if you don't want to stick with this bit. I hope you do stick with this bit because it's my little gift for you, so to speak, to try and help. If you want to stick with me, this will probably last about 7 to 10 minutes, something like that. And I'm just being guided to do this. So when I filmed the video, I'll put a little link to say it's in 2 parts. And then if you don't want to do the next bit, it's fine. I won't take it personally. So we'll do that now. So you must not listen to this bit of the video or do this bit of the video if you are operating machinery. Do not do this bit of the video if you are operating machinery, driving a car. Don't listen to it if you're driving a car, this bit, because it could take you into a relaxed state or altered state, and you can't be doing that way operate machinery. So only listen to this bit if you're just sitting quietly, or you've got headphones on, you're laying down, sitting at home, where it's, you know, you've got not machinery operating or anything like that, or not driving. So make yourself as comfortable as you can. To do that, you might want to take a deep breath. And you might want to close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes. You can gaze at my face the whole way through it. But to get comfortable and to get into that altered state, you might want to. Straight away, what I want to say is it's all blue. So we are coming in around you and with a blue vibration. And what I want to do with each and every one of you watching this is I'm going to place myself in a blue vibration. So I'm encasing myself in a blue, I'm going to call it crystalline, they're telling me crystalline bubble of energy with my feet in the Earth star connected to the Earth, galactically connected to the Earth, so grounded to the Earth star. And I'm also going to ask the same for you. So each and every one of you doing this part of the video or watching it, I'm asking, can you all also be placed inside a large transparent blue bubble of energy, of light, of pure compassion, pure love, pure joy. And it's completely encasing your body. It comes up way above your head, all the way down the outline of your body and underneath your feet. And it's all blue, blue mixed with transparent. This is also very protective. So it helps stop that buffeting and being knocked about by the events of the outside world, all the powerful negative frequencies, but also it enables you to feel all the wonderful frequencies. We're getting so much help with this part of the process at the moment. They can't do it for us. We have to see it. We have to see it with the eyes of the heart. But they are helping us enormously. So within your bubble, it protects you from anything negative and just keeps your energy nice and intact and secure and able to move through your process without getting knocked about too much there. So in your blue bubbles of light, I am asking your individual, most beautiful, loving, powerful guides to step forward behind you. Each and every one of you might have a different feeling about this or a different visualization of this. To one of you, it might look like a guardian angel. To another, it might be your mum or your dad that passed away. To another, it might be a pet that passed away. To somebody else watching this, it might be someone that they've known that they're connected to on the other side, on the other realms for a long time, that's stepping forward, or it might be kind of a new feeling person. But I'm going to put out now with my team that the beings that step forward alongside you only be beings that are 100% of Christ consciousness, of compassion and humanity, from that vibration, all about helping you guys personally, helping your health, helping your well-being, helping your journey, helping you to move through these times, helping you open the eyes of your heart, helping you with that clarity. Only from this. Anything else less than this, my team and the teams working with me, just remove anything less than that immediately, please, from anybody watching this video. So we're only dealing with these real, true Christ, loving, compassion, healing energies that are personally connected to all the people watching this and want their highest outcome, their happiest, healthiest outcome. As your personal guide, so you have more than one guide, you have a team if you like, but there is one in particular that's stepping forward in this video for you. They place their hands on the back of your shoulders like this, and it's all blue, so the vibration is all blue. And as they place their hands there on your shoulders, each and every one of you, I ask from my heart, from the true wishing for the highest outcome for you, that true, genuine love and care for you, I ask that your guides bring about help, clarification for you, each and every one of you, healing, bring some peace into there, bring some happiness into there, bring some strength into there. And as I ask this, your guides have actually reached one hand round and they place it on your heart. So I've got one on one shoulder now, one on your heart as I'm talking. And it's all blue. Everything's blue. Now it's really interesting to me because over the last couple of months, I've been able to see the meridians, and I see the pulses of people's energy going up and down them when I enter a certain zone that I'm entering now. And I'm able to see them. It's so pretty. It's like seeing little lights on a river, really. See them pulses and the information go up and down. And I see that with their hand over your heart. And you may wish to physically put one of your hands over your heart on your own physical chest while you're doing this. You don't have to. If you're nice and comfortable, you don't have to, but you can see that I'm doing that and being drawn to do it. I think it would be a nice idea if you did, because you're anchoring it more in the solid, the physical, not just in the woo-woo and the metaphysical. But if you do choose to put your hand there, you might find your hand gets very warm or tingly or something like that. Maybe not. But it's activating your heart energy. It's activating more of your library. For some of you, it might open up a lot of your library. For others, it might access just another 1 or 2 books. But it's gently, lovingly, compassionately activating more of who you are. And when you activate more of who you are like this, you're able to get more of a view of what's happening in you and more of a view of what's happening in the world. When I see this energy, it's all blue. So as I'm seeing it as meridians, it's almost like an electrical energy, really. But I'm seeing meridians, so I'm seeing the little pulses travel up and down now. It's very, very gentle. I don't work in anything but gentle. I don't work in a way that triggers healing crisis in people. In my training many years ago, we were trained all about healing crisis, and that's the way to go, and it often happens, but I don't work that way anymore. I don't actually agree with working that way anymore. I think sometimes when someone's in challenging mental health or physical health, I think the last thing they want is a healing crisis on top of that. So we work gentle, 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 gentle. Even if we have to start up at 11D, 12D, 9, 8, 7, 6 before we 5, 4 and bring it down. We work higher and bring it down rather than go straight in for broke like that. I think people's systems are fried enough at this point in history. We don't want to fry them more. So underneath your hand, if your hand is on your heart, but underneath the being that is helping you, that is guiding this, underneath their hand is pretty lights. The lights are quite white, but in blue, and to some it's a bit electrical, to others it's more like a mist flowing in. What it's doing is it's encouraging more of those library books that are yours, in your heart, to be available, so that you can see with the eyes of the heart, hear with the ears of the heart, feel with the knowing of the heart, and come into more of who you are, get that worldwide clarity, and make your decisions and choices accordingly. This bypasses programming in here. This is straight to the heart. This bypasses programming in here. That's why they're doing it this way. And it's all blue. And it's very lovely. What I want you to do is I want you to spread that blue and spread that warmth and spread that light from your heart. It's all being governed by your multidimensional heart portal all over the rest of you. So the blue heart energy goes up into your brain, into your mind, and into your ears, and into your sinuses, into your throat, into your neck, into your central nervous system, into your arms, into your chest, into your lungs, into your wombs if you have a womb, into your tummy, into your pelvis, into your backs, into your buttocks, into your legs, back and front, into your feet. And then let's say it's discharged down through the star, the earth star under your feet, and down into the earth. So we don't want a surplus of energy. We want you connecting this to the earth, so it's grounded via the earth star, but we also want this in your system so that you can absorb as much of your own heart energy as you can. And if you can't absorb much at the moment, you'll just take a little bit. You'll take 1 library book. If you can absorb 100 library books, you'll take 100 library books. If you can absorb 50,000 library books, you'll take 50,000 library books. Each and every one of you watching this will be different. But it's your heart energy going everywhere, into your DNA, into your cells, into your organs, into your lymph, into your bodily fluids, into your muscles, into your bones, into your consciousness. It's going everywhere, and it's blue, and it's gentle, and it's loving, and it's meridians, and it's electrical, but not nasty electrical, not electrical shock electrical. This is electrical as in pretty Christmas lights, pretty carnival of Christmas lights, with the pretty wagons going past, all lit up with blue lights. It's that kind of electrical, very gentle, very loving, very healing. And you'll notice I'm doing something with my hand here, which I'm actually drawing in spiral DNA. I'm not logically doing this. I didn't make a decision to do this. I'm channeling doing this. This is what I'm strongly, instinctively being guided to do. Drawing it in, and I actually can see the helix as I'm doing this, the DNA there. Okay, so deep breath. If you're with me still, hand over heart, and it's all blue, and the blue is transferred to every part of your mind, body, soul. It's a very gentle blue reminder how to access more of who you are, how to come more into the fullness of who you are, anchoring it in the now, because yes, we have the whole library and it's all going down at the same time, it's all going on at the same time, but we're really mainly aware of the one book, or the book of one, which is here, now, you, me, now. So we're bringing it down and anchoring it into the now, into the physical, solid you. And so I'm going to ask the beings now, your personal being, for your highest outcome, to assist you, to step back alongside your team. So we don't want to do, this is quite a significant activation. We don't want to do a whopping great activation here, but this is big enough. I want them to step back. It's interesting, as I keep looking away, because as I psychically see your hearts, many of your hearts are now got this beautiful blue energy in them. Your beautiful blue energy. And as I ask the guides to step back there, if you want to access that at any time, you just have to sit quietly, go into the zone for a minute, put your physical hand over your heart. There, just sit quietly. Always with the intent that is making you more integrated, more with who you are, more at one with your higher self, more clarity from the heart, seeing, feeling from the heart, more healing, more wellness, more being grounded. Again, see yourself in your blue bubble, but your feet are firmly standing in the Earth star, anchored to planet Earth through the galactic realms of who you are, so your solid feet on the ground. And again, those bubbles, I'm going to ask, can those bubbles be left in place for you as long as needed, just to keep some of the outside negative buffeting of the world back, but also for you to absorb what has been activated within you guys today. Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys. Thanks for doing that. Ask my team to pull back alongside me. I'm going to do the same for me here. Reinstate. Yeah, thank you. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something from it. Those of you that stuck with me and did this bit of the video. Until we meet again, I don't know how long that will be, because sometimes I have an idea to come up here, but I never come up here unless I suddenly feel, oh, I really need to do that today. I really want to do that today. I felt quite passionate about coming up here today. Didn't really know why, and it just takes on a momentum of its own. That's the nature of being a channel. I hope to be up here again in the next week or 2 weeks or a few weeks. I don't know. I'm assuming I will be back up here before the year has ended. Who can believe we're talking this way? Personally, I haven't even bought a Christmas card yet. I cannot believe that we're only weeks away from another Christmas. I can tell you that 2021 has been a much lighter in terms of global energy, much lighter year than 2020 was. 2022 will be lighter still. That doesn't mean to say that some of these terrible things that are being rolled out in this dystopian deliberate plan isn't still going on. It means to say that energies behind them have been profoundly damaged, and those dark forces are at the beginning of the end. How long the end takes for them depends on you and depends on me. Our line in the sand, how long are we going to be complicit? That's how long the end part, the final part of this chapter will take. I can't really give you a time limit, 'cause it's going to depend on you. Till I see you again, which hopefully won't be too long in the future, I will love you and leave you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I hope you get some benefit, comfort, healing activations from this video. Take care.